1945 feature film Brief Encounter was a true film classic. The fictitious suburban railway station called Milford Junction was created in the studio, but to capture the realistic steam atmosphere, director David Lean filmed these unique night scenes on location at Carnforth in Lancashire. These 35mm rank film outtakes were stored uncatalogued in the vaults, where they lay forgotten for 50 years. By the way, the white specks are a sign of their age, I'm afraid, and are on the original negatives. The script called for a number of express trains to run through non-stop, and these were filmed at Watford Junction. The West Coast Main Line still had 3 years of LMS ownership left, and these magnificent night shots show the everyday trains on the fast lines looking towards London. Incidentally, for those too young to ever witness a Coronation Scot at work, let me assure you, these are the actual sounds. Amateur cameramen could never even consider filming such scenes in 1945. In order to achieve sufficient exposure, banks of brilliant arc lamps were set up. According to the records, drivers at first frantically braked when they were confronted by the brilliant white lights, so a special message was sent out to warn them and to urge them to go faster rather than slower. Back now to Carnforth, and for me, the real star of the film was an ordinary workaday Stanier 264 tank engine built 10 years earlier. Much of the film world, and even today's preservation movement, tends to feature the glamorous and powerful express engines, but here we see the typical local train, which at the time was repeated the length and breadth of the country. In this scene, we get the added bonus of a service train at the opposite platform. The film is the story of a chance meeting of a married woman, played by Celia Johnson, and a separately married man, played by Trevor Howard, which led to a love affair. David Lean told me personally that he chose Carnforth for the location owing to the long ramp-style subways so that the stars could run down them. He found that most subways have stairs and that Celia Johnson looked slightly comical running up and down them. Those were the days when railwaymen, here played by Stanley Holloway, simply hopped off the platform to cross the tracks. Although considered too dangerous nowadays, it is nonetheless most reminiscent of the bygone era. The burgeoning love affair centered around the traditional station refreshment room. Here is an almost classic outtake. The door sticks. The director cuts to try a second time. Meanwhile, we get to see the typical wooden compartment stock in close-up, complete with third-class accommodation. We end our brief encounter with one last express at Watford Junction.